The Gears of War franchise has certainly, guys, over the past number of years, has had peaks and valleys, has had those ups and downs as any big franchise out there. And one of the strangest things to me about the Gears of War franchise is not so much about the games, but those who play it, the community, guys. It's a very interesting community, to say the least. I have been a huge fan of Gears of War and where the direction that it's going in. I'm very excited, very bullish on this franchise, to say the least, especially the simple fact that we got Gears 6 and Gears 7 both confirmed by Rod Ferguson, who was the studio head over at the Coalition before he departed to go on to work over at Blizzard on Diablo and that franchise. But pretty much what we got, guys, was Gears 6 and Gears 7 are coming. And that's a very exciting thing to me because we kind of have somewhat of a path moving forward and what we can expect moving forward. But that doesn't, obviously kind of keep everybody, standing still almost, right? The people in the community, all of us, are very excited about the future of this franchise, but also very reminiscent of the past as well. And one of those is the hashtag Fenix collection, which has been going around on Twitter for quite some time now, guys. People in the community want the Fenix collection. And so we're going to kind of break that down, guys, and what that kind of means. And could we potentially see this in the future? So let's talk about it. So in an article written, guys, by Fraser Gilbert of Pure Xbox, Gears fans really want to see a Fenix collection on the Xbox Series X. The big news that Microsoft hit us with was that Halo the Master Chief Collection would be getting enhanced for Xbox Series X and S, and following that announcement, some Gears of War fans have taken to social media to share their desire for a Marcus Fenix collection on the new systems as well. The hashtag Fenix collection appears to be gaining quite a lot of traction on Twitter at the time of writing, with fans coming together in their hope for a next-gen collection of the original trilogy of games. So there's been a number of people talking about it, guys. The original Gears of War was remastered as part of an Ultimate Edition back in 2015, and both Gears 2 and Gears 3 benefit from Xbox One X enhancements, but all three will run on Xbox Series X and S via backwards compatibility at launch. Gears 5 is notably getting a dedicated touch-up for next-gen, featuring improved visuals and 120 frames per second, support for multiplayer. So would you like to see similar improvements for the original trilogy? Neon Velocity tweeted, "Challenge accepted. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Get Fenix Collection and Gears of War trending. Let Microsoft and Xbox know we want to see Gears UE, Gears 2, and Gears 3 at 120 frames per second, crossplay remastered, and on Xbox Series X and PC." Also, Cold Eastwood tweeted, "Xbox and Gears of War fans, let's get hashtag Fenix Collection trending. Like, retweet, post, and quote tweet on your timeline or image or memory of Gears 1 through 3 to encourage a Gears of War Fenix Collection release on Xbox Series X and X. Hashtag Fenix Collection." So, okay, look, guys. I agree with Neon Velocity here. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. 100% agree. But here's what I'm going to disagree with the community on this, guys. And look, I've been pretty critical, overly critical, as some could say, of the Gears of War community. I have stated many times, guys, that I feel that the backlash towards every little thing the Coalition does or has done up to this point, since they took the reins of Gears of War with the Gears of War Ultimate Edition into Gears 4 and then, of course, into Gears 5, it seems like everything that they do, there's a huge amount of backlash which from the community. No matter what it is, there's a lot of backlash, and I have stated that this is unhealthy as a community, as a, from a franchise perspective, it can't be healthy whatsoever, guys, when we look at the future of Gears of War. Obviously Gears 6 and Gears 7 have been confirmed, as well as a Gears of War movie. They've all been confirmed, but obviously with the backlash and such, at a point it comes down to people just get turned off. So it's hard for new people to even come into the Gears of War franchise when they see the toxicity that is the Gears of War community. And so what I'm getting at here, guys, is the community is actually in many ways hurting the Gears of War scene simply because, when we look at the backlash, when we look at everything that people are complaining about with Gears 5, Gears of War 4, whatever Gears title it is obviously, it really hurts the franchise when you're overly critical. And there's nothing wrong with, speaking your mind and telling the developers that you got to, do this or that to help. But when there is just a constant, backlash on every little thing that the coalition is doing, who brought back Gears of War, first of all, for us, that was in a limbo state, that was in a state of no return. Microsoft and the coalition, together, Microsoft creates the coalition specific for Gears of War, and there you have it, they bring it back. So everyone should be very thankful of that. I think many of us are, but, part of me is concerned about the future of Gears of War. And this Fenix collection, even though I believe that it would be cool, right? I think it would be really cool. I think there's a problem, a systemic problem within the Gears of War community of reminiscing of the past. And even those past, the first three, the original trilogy. And guys, don't get me wrong. Gears of War 3 is one of the greatest games of all time. It is a top 5 game to me all time ever made. Gears of War 3 I love, okay? The second game of Gears of War 2 was incredible. The first game, great as well. But look, we need to look forward. And I'm not saying that, we shouldn't get a Fenix collection. We shouldn't want a Fenix collection. But I think that we should be wanting to see the next iteration of Gears of War. Now, obviously, guys, we have seen a number of reports and such that Gears 6 is certainly being worked on at this point. The Coalition are also helping out on the Perfect Dark continuation or reboot sequel. But I would be lying if I didn't tell everyone that I am concerned about this thought of just the past, always reminiscing of the past of Gears of War and not really appreciating what we have right now, which Gears 5 I think is a great game. Sure, were there problems at launch? Absolutely. But what's a Gears of War title without some issues, right? There's always been issues at launch for most of these Gears of War titles. It's something that you got to work through. And, I'm very excited for Gears 6. Why am I super excited for Gears 6? Because it's going to be totally new. Gears 1 through 3, we have played for years now, ad nauseum, and I love those games, guys, but at a point, you have to look forward to what's up and coming, and I'm sure many of you are very excited about that, and are excited about Gears 6, excited about Gears 7, but I just feel that when you reminisce in the past so much, it reminds me of some of the Call of Duty trick-shotting and sniping community. When it comes to the new Call of Duties, they play them for a short period of time, then they go back to the older Call of Duties because, there's that feeling, that very original feeling and of trick-shotting and sniping on those original games. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, that's what people go back to in the Call of Duty trick-shotting and sniping community. The difference between that community and the Gears community is that the Gears of War community is so much smaller. So anytime there's toxicity in the Call of Duty community, it can almost be brushed off because, maybe there's toxicity, but it's such a much broader audience and fan base than Gears of War, which is more niche, more mature, more this, more that. And so it's a smaller community. It's exclusive to Xbox. What I'm saying, guys, is it is concerning. There is a real concern I have for the future of Gears of War because of the community here. And we got a great community overall, but there are many people within this community that I believe are hurting it in a major way. And you could look at so many other fan bases out there, guys. I mean, you could look at, what recently was Cyberpunk 2077, the backlash that's come from that. With, obviously it's duly noted that, there are problems with Cyberpunk 2077. The problems going on with CSGO, the problems with many of these other titles. The difference is those fan bases at this point in time are much larger than Gears of War. The Fenix collection is something I would love to see, but I would love to see it released with or announced with Gears 6. I want to see Gear 6. I want to see the future of the franchise. Don't, kind of go back. We don't want to go backwards. We need to move forwards, guys, as a community, as a franchise, as a fan base. It needs to move forward. We can't be moving backwards. And I think the Fenix collection, if you got the coalition working on the Fenix collection, sure, you might think, oh, it's not going to be that hard for them to do it. But those things take time. At the end of the day, it's going to take time. Would I like to see it? Absolutely. But not at the expense of Gear 6, not at the expense of Gear 7, not at the expense of other maybe spin-offs of, Gears of War as a whole. We as a community need to move forward, not backwards. I get that people want the Fenix collection, guys, and I do too. But I think there is a pecking order here to what we should want and what we should and what we really need. And what I think we need, guys, is the next iteration of Gears of War in the form of Gears 6, the continuation of the story, the evolution of the esports scene, the evolution of the, multiplayer to horde mode, to all those experiences, guys, in Gears of War. There needs to be a continuation here. Halo the Master Chief collection is exciting, right? I mean, it's exciting that you're getting that, but enhanced for Xbox Series X and S. But here's the difference. Halo Infinite is coming out, right? So the Master Chief collection, that's coming because of Halo Infinite, and it makes a little more sense to me. But don't release the Fenix collection without announcing Gear 6 and showing us what is in store for us in the next iteration of Gears of War. My real fear is, guys, is that when you start asking for the Fenix collection or something of that nature and you don't see things materializing with Gear 6, what happens if Gear 6 never happens? You're just going to reminisce in the past, forever. The esports scene dies, and then you're left with the game that was one for the ages, but didn't get a continuation because the community didn't really support it. It supported the past, not the future. Think about it. And don't get me wrong, guys, I want the Fenix collection, but let's see Gear 6 first. Let's see what this is gonna entail. Let's get an announcement first, at least. Let's get Gear 6, hashtag Gear 6 trending. Let's get that kind of rolling here first. Let's see what that next iteration of our franchise is going to be all about. Bring the Fenix collection sometime. I'm definitely down. But after playing those games so many times, guys, I'm ready to see the future, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you guys concerned like me about the Gears of War franchise? I'm a little bit concerned, guys. Not because of, the developers and all of that. I'm concerned because of the community and the community's actions towards what the coalition does, towards each of these games, towards wanting to reminisce in the past constantly, and not really having the sustainability kind of factored in here. We don't have a big enough fan base to withstand tons of negativity, tons of toxicity. People will be turned away from that. So we got to really deal with this delicately. Let me know though, guys, in the comment section down below. Do you want the Fenix collection? What do you think? Let me know. And for more Gears of War content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.